Your mission, Martians, is to swoop down on the pathetic denizens of the primitive planet Earth and to scoop up as many of the inhabitants as you can manage. We are interested in samples of the chicken, cow, and human populations so that we can determine which of them is actually in charge. The Earthlings might manage to put up a feeble defense, but surely nothing a small taste of your death rays can't handle. Make Mars proud. Be the first Martians to fill your abduction quotas. Welcome, folks, to Hungary's review of Martian dice, designed by Scott Alms and published by Tasty Minstrel Games. So before we get into my thoughts on this game and how to play, let's take a quick look inside the box. Alright, so as you can see, there's really not very much in here. You have your rules, which are very brief and only a front and a back, and that's actually all you need to learn to play the game. And then you have your dice. And as you can see, they come in various different suits on the dice. You have death rays, you have tanks, you have chickens, you have cows, and you have humans. So let's take a look at how this game is actually played. So first I will put all my dice in my handy dandy tray here. And before you can start, what you need to do is you get a piece of paper and list out all of your players so you can track the score. So I have myself and my nemesis for today, Fritz. And you set that aside. And each turn, what you do is you take all of the dice and you roll them. And the first thing that you do is you immediately separate all tanks. In this case, I have one. And every turn you will have to separate tanks. The very first thing that you do. Then you get to choose which suit of dice you want to pull out. With the chickens, cows, and humans, you can only pull them out one time each round. So once you've chosen to pull humans, you can never pull humans again. Death rays, on the other hand, you can pull as many times as you want. Now, what the death rays do is the death rays will nullify the tanks. Because at the end of the round, if you have more tanks than you have death rays, you get 0 points. But for now, to play through this, I will assume that I am going to be bold, and I am going to abduct these 4 humans. Then I take all the dice again, and I roll them. And the first thing I do is I separate out all of the tanks. Then I decide what other suit I want to pull. I cannot pull humans, but I'm getting a little worried about my tanks here, so I will separate these 2 death rays. And that nullifies these 2 tanks. However, if I stop right now, I get no points because I still have one more tank than death rays, so I have to keep going. And again, I had to pull out all of my tanks. There's 1, and I will pull my 2 death rays here. Now this is kind of where the push your luck comes in. I could choose to stop and get 4 points, or I could roll this last one and risk getting a tank and getting nothing. I think I will be a bit more cowardly and I will stop. So that means that I have earned 4 points for my 4 humans. And there we have it. Now then it is Fritz's turn. And the first thing that he has to do is separate all the tanks and then decide what he's going to pull. Now Fritz is going to be a little bolder than I am, because if he winds up getting a chicken, cow, and person in his final abduction, he will actually get 3 bonus points. So he's going to start out and just pull the 1 chicken, and then he'll roll his second time. And he starts out, he has to immediately pull all tanks. He has none, and so he's just going to pull this single human. And then he rolls again. And he has to pull 2 more tanks. And now you can see he's starting to get a bit up against it because he has no death rays yet. So he's going to go ahead and pull his death rays. and he will roll again. And he has 2 more death rays, so he'll pull those, which means he gets 2 points. So it didn't quite work out for him. And record the score, and then it would pass back to me, and it's my turn. And the game goes back and forth like this, on and on, until somebody gets to 25 points. Once someone has gotten to 25 points, all the other players get to finish the round, so everyone's had the same number of turns, and then whoever has the most points is the winner. And that's it. That is the entire game. It's very quick, very simple. So, what do I like about this game? Well, there's actually quite a bit to like. I enjoy the theme of it. I think it's goofy. I think it's silly. I think the art on the box does a good job of... I think the art on the box does a good job of showing you kind of what you're going to get. It's kind of neat that with this clear plastic here, you can actually see some of the dice underneath, with the idea they're kind of being pulled up into the flying saucer here. I like the components. I think these dice are, they're really fun. They're sturdy. I like the images on them, and I think it does a good job. The instructions are very well written. As I showed earlier, it's a very small rule book, but this really is all you need to learn how to play. I am probably overestimating when I say it took me 3 minutes to learn how to play this game. Now, the only thing that I have to say that's a bit negative is I think there's a missed opportunity with this game, and that there is no way to track your score that comes in the box. Yes, it is completely fine to take a piece of paper and write down the scores on there. That's fine, but I think it would have been more thematic, a bit more fun if in the box there was a couple dials. Maybe they could look like flying saucers or something, so you could track your score. Is it a big miss? No, but it's something that could have made the game a little more thematic, and would just be a little edge that really kicks this game up one more notch. So, who should get this game? I think people who like silly games will enjoy it. I think if you like push your luck dice rolling games, this is a great game to pick up. Now, you're not going to spend an entire afternoon playing this game. It's just not enough to it to do that. Where I think this game would shine is taking it to a larger game day where there's several games going on all at once. And that way, when one game's finished, or you just are waiting for the pizza to show up, or whatever it may be, it's a great game to pull out. Everyone can play. It's great fun just to throw dice and go around the table very quickly. The game plays in anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how many players that you have. Currently, the game is going for about $15 on Amazon. I checked the Tasty Minstrel Games site, and I didn't actually see it on there, so it's very possible that my Google Foo is just not as good as it used to be. But that is the game. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, this is only my second video review, so if you have comments you'd like to leave down below, I would certainly appreciate them. If you did enjoy this and are looking forward to seeing some more videos, go ahead and subscribe, and we're going to have more and more games coming in the next several weeks and months. Thank you all for joining me, and have a great, great day.